not just what you do, but it's also how you do it and what inspires your actions that informs how things come out. This is evident in the story that we read in the Torah this week. We're in Parshat Bo. This is the culmination of the Exodus story. It's the last 3 plagues. It's the command to mark Pesach, to have a spiritual practice, to inform yourself and to pass along your values across generations, and the actual exodus from Egypt. And this is a story that this part of the story began with the Egyptians enslaving the Israelites, not because the Israelites had done anything wrong, but because they were different, because they were outsider ethnic group. And it says that the Egyptians enslaved them and imposed labors on them with a special cruelty. It wasn't just that they enslaved them because they were an undesirable, but it's that they did it with a certain level of cruelty. And it's that cruelty that might help explain why the plagues come. If Pharaoh's the one in charge, but the entire people, it seems, acted with a sense of cruelty. Look, we're in a specific moment in our country where there are great debates about and great unrest over immigration issues. There is certainly a valid argument that can and should be made regarding having a strong border policy and immigration enforcement. And the question is now, for me, is this policy being enforced with the sense of tzedek tirdof, that you're going to pursue justice justly, or is it being done, which is what the Torah commands the people of Israel to act, or is it being done b'farach, with a sense of cruelty, and a sense of that sort of discrimination against the unliked other ethnic group? And from public comments that I've heard made by people in positions of power, it seems that this b'farach, this doing things with cruelty, is a part of the overall conversation. Very specifically, singling out Somali Americans as garbage or unwanted smacks of bigotry. Bigotry is something that we are obligated to oppose. That is because as Jews we have experienced it, and because as Jews we hold this as morally repugnant. We don't take ethnic groups and sort of call them names in order to denigrate them. That is not kosher. And it's true that there are bad actors in every ethnic group. Somalis among them, Jews among them, non-Jews among them. Every ethnic group has bad actors among them and has people who aren't good, or maybe you don't want in your communities, or maybe if they've committed certain crimes are fitting to be deported. And to tar an entire group with it, that's bigotry. Look, we're supposed to understand that we're called to do justice justly. So if there is a just policy, it is fitting and proper to enforce it. If it's being done with cruelty rather than compassion, with bigotry rather than a sense of the blind application of justice, then we have to get things onto the right track. This is part of what the Torah commands of us, and it is something that we're supposed to stand for. Not because it's easy, and it may be controversial, but this is the nature of Torah. It asks us to do things not because everyone's going to agree, but because we're called to recognize the humanity of everybody and to apply rules fairly. This is throughout the book of Exodus, it's throughout the Torah, and it should be throughout our approach to policies, both in our own lives, within the Jewish community, and the community at large. Shabbat Shalom.